Greetings Autobots and welcome back to Autobot ASMR's Transformers Reviews. We're going to try something different for today's video because we're going to be doing a triple changer, the first triple changer on the channel. And what better one to pick than the original quintessential triple changer himself, the Decepticon Blitzwing. So we'll start off in his tank mode because I think this is the strongest of the three modes. And Blitzwing is a pretty nice tank mode. It is packed to the gills with different detail all across the body of it. There's some nice, you've got the plastic here with all the detailing, the sort of beige sandy plastic. Some nice molded detail on the turret, the little hatch. Nice Decepticon symbol there picked out in purple paint. Looks quite nice. Come around to the sides here, got some nice detail, especially on the tank treads. You've got these little wheels, so it can roll a little bit loudly given the nature of the floor, but it is what it is. That's a me problem, that's not a you problem, that's not a problem with the figure, it's me. And the rest of the tank, like, this is actually accurate to the animation model because in the original G1 show the cockpit of the plane mode was sticking out. But honestly, I really don't mind it all that much. It's kind of a moot point. It's accurate, but I understand why people kind of complain because sometimes toy accuracy sort of contradicts the look of the mode. But yeah, come around to the back here, you've got some nice thruster details here. You've actually got little molded in intakes here on the sides of the thrusters, which is quite cool looking. The amount of detail on this tank mode is really nice. And the turret itself can rotate the full 360 degrees. You can even angle it up as it's on a double hinge, but I just keep it there for the sake of the basic vehicle mode. And yeah, that's pretty much about it for the tank mode. I think it looks really nice. Definitely the strongest of the three modes. The coloring's great, it's accurate to the show model, and it just feels chunky. It's a very high quality figure, not just in terms of engineering but just in looks and aesthetic. I do wish there was maybe a touch of paint around different details just to maybe give him a bit more definition to break up the bland beige, but apart from that he's pretty spot on. I don't really have much in the way of a complaint with him. So let's get down to the first of Blitzwing's transformations. So we're going to turn him into his second vehicle mode, so just take the little panel here, flip the turret in, close that over, and rotate so the Decepticon symbol is facing you. Bring this up, and what are we going to want to do? We're just going to want to take these little tread pieces here, swing them in, and I think we're going to want to fold the wings, these little wings in. There we go. Flip these in. Then what you're going to want to do is, you'll see here there's a little hook here, a little tab that I think this section goes into. No, actually it's on the back. There's a little tab here that sort of keeps that in place, but there's also a tab here that the fingers slot into. It's very clever. Or the base of the wrist, it's actually a part of the wrist that tabs in. It's quite clever. Didn't expect to see that on a Transformer, but you're just going to want to collapse these in. Just keep this up so you have a bit more clearance to operate. Same procedure as before. Free this up, unpeg that from the side section, collapse this in until it just clicks into place. There we go. Now what do we want to do now? Let me think. I remember. We're just going to want to take this panel here, click it up, and since you've untabbed or those bits, you'll need to grab this and untab this part. You'll see these little sections here that go into these two tabs. Those tabs fit into those two slots. So just bring this up, and basically what you're going to want to do is this whole vehicle mode, you basically flip it upside down and a lot of the changes happen there. But you're just going to open this cockpit and bring out the nose cone, put that back in. We'll do the legs first. You're just going to want to split the legs. We're just going to keep this up for the time being so we have more room to operate. And you're going to want to just unfurl this whole wing section, flip up this little rear fin, and yeah, just close that back up. It's been a while since I transformed this, so apologies if the steps are a little bit finicky. But same procedure as before, just unfurl the wing, flip out that little tail fin, and then peg the legs together. Now next what you're going to want to do is take these arm sections, they're on these little tabs that just held in place. So you're just going to bring these down and they will tab into place with a little section right here. You just tab nice and securely into place. They're a bit stiff on my copy, but once they come loose, they're easy enough to get into place. There we go. Just a matter of getting that in place. Now what you're going to want to do is bring this whole back section backwards and then just plug these little pieces in to the rear of the jet and plug these in just to further secure that section there. Same thing as before. Just give it a good squeeze and plug it all in. Squeeze this into place as well. And what do we want to do? Just for a few finishing details, I'm just going to flip these up. And for a final step, now this is completely optional, but for the sake of the video, I'll show this. You can take his little landing gear here and just set him down like that. And there you have Blitzwing in his jet mode. And like I said, it's not perfect, and you don't even have to be an aeronaut to know why, because look at all this crap just hanging under him. But honestly, given the fact that it is, pardon me, a triple changer, I can kind of overlook it, though I will still point it out as a point of contention because, you know, it can be done. It's not like it's impossible, but it just requires a bit more time to cook the figure. But we'll critique it on its own merits. We'll not be too harsh to it. As for the detail itself, it is quite nice looking. You know, regardless of the tank bits hanging out, it is still a convincing jet. I love the color palette, the deep purple with the little highlights of yellow and silver to break it up. It gives him a very unique vibe, almost a bit like Prime Dreadwing or even Skywarp with a little bit of Starscream. But I really do like this jet mode. It's not my favourite. If I display this guy, it's usually in robot or tank mode. But it is a pretty cool jet. I can't really fault it for much other than the kibbly underside. But he's got nice detail all around. I love the nice silver here on the cockpit especially, and the little clear red section here. Gives him a lot of highlighted detail and definition. Nice silver Decepticon insignias. Yeah, but overall, a really nice looking jet mode. It's not perfect, like, don't get me wrong, I don't want to be a broken record by saying the same thing over and over, but I really would have liked if maybe they found a way to re-engineer this figure so that this kibble was better managed. But if you look at it from the top, it doesn't look too bad. It's only when you look at it from the side, or like this, it just looks kind of off, though. Because if these bits tucked away more, you would just sort of have this, and that looks a lot better. That looks incredibly good. But the problem is you just have this hanging under, so it's a bit of a, you know, you kind of have to stretch your imagination. But overall, not a bad attempt. It's flawed, don't get me wrong, but it's not a bad attempt, and for a toy, it's pretty fun. You know, I critique my figures differently than some other people. Some other folks are a lot more harsh with their critiques, but for me, the main points, what make a Transformer for me, is the transformation, because what would a Transformer be if they can't transform? The fun factor of it, how fun it is to mess around with and pose, and my personal attachment to the character. And I always thought Blitzwing was quite a cool character. So this figure, I don't want to jump the gun, but I wholeheartedly recommend it. But we still have one more mode to tackle, and that is the robot mode. So let's get down to the transformation once again. So we're going to be doing a lot of what we did before, just getting things situated, but there'll be a few steps done differently. We're just going to want to bring these little wings out. This will be the backpack of the robot mode. Flip in this little landing gear. Pull this whole section, or first we're just going to want to loosen this. Unpeg that. Unpeg this. And untab this, which will give us the ability to effortlessly unpeg that piece. So what you're going to want to do now is, let me think, take this Decepticon little chest piece, flip, or before you flip anything, take this and open it up, and then collapse the nose cone in, just like that. And instead of flipping it down this way, you're going to want to flip it backwards, and then that'll reveal the head. That just plugs into place, and there you have Blitzwing's head. So now what do we want to do? We're just going to want to take the arms, swing them back up as if we were putting them into tank mode, collapse them in. We'll just keep them out of the way for the time being, so this gives us a bit more room to operate. You're just going to want to separate the legs. Now I'll show you what I'm doing from the back, because this can be a little bit hard to explain, but you're going to want to separate this little joint on this hinge and then collapse it up until it just sort of clicks into place. Then fold the wings if you were turning them into tank mode. Just fold in 3 places like that. Collapse in the rear fin. Open up the thruster so it forms his feet. And there you have a leg all done. So the second verse is, guess what? Just like the first. Collapse that in. Fold that up. Fold that in. Fold this fin, or flip this fin back. And just open up his toes. There you have Blitzwing's feet all done. So now we will work on the chest and backpack. So what you're going to want to do is bring this whole section up and around so it clears his head. And this will allow you to bring in what will become his chest piece. And this just locks into place nice and securely. And collapse the backpack on its hinges so it sits like so. Let me just think if I got this a little bit. He's a little bit floppy on one side. It's probably just because of the way I've gotten stood. There, that's better. So finally what we're going to want to do is transform the arms. So just take this panel here, swing it down and around, bring out the fists, just like so. And swing this back up to fill in that gap. There you have an arm all done. So the second verse, just like the first, flip that panel down, rotate that whole section around, flip out the hand, and flip the panel as a gap filler. And there you go, folks. There you have Legacy Leader Class Blitzwing in his robot mode. And I love this toy. I love this guy. Full disclosure, Blitzwing was a character that I never really saw originally until Transformers Animated, and ever since then I always had a soft spot for the guy. He was this manic, insane German scientist transformer with 3 personalities, and he would switch to and fro at seemingly random points throughout the show, and he was just such an entertaining presence. He stole the show every scene he appeared in. And his figure here, this is an animated Blitzwing, but his figure here is really good. It just looks the part, the colors are great, the chunk factor, he feels fun to handle. He's got a lot of just, what would be the term for it? Hand candy feel. I might have used that term before, but if not, feel free to call me out on that in the comments. Oh, that might have been why it wasn't standing up, because his heel wasn't folded in right. Yeah, there we go, that's much better. That's much more like it. Blitzwing is now ready for battle. Now, he does come with a few accessories, but I haven't got them on the table, so bear with me, I will be back in a mo to grab Blitzwing's weaponry. So Blitzwing has quite the odd variety of accessories. He comes with not 1, but 2 molded blasters cast in purple plastic. Looks quite nice there. You've got a little magazine clip, a little stock, the main barrel as well as the sights. Some nice detailing all around. Just wish it could use a bit more paint. He has a very nice sword cast in purple and painted silver. It's also rubber as well, so you can sort of flex it. Not that that's a play feature, just so you don't stab your eye out with it. But it looks quite nice. Very nice sword. The guns as well are also based off the G1 toy, so you've also got Blitzwing's sword to go along with that. Now, the final accessories they're weird. You know, I don't think you guys are ready for what you're about to see. But Blitzwing comes with these giant energon infused clear missile pod death mittens of destruction. I don't even know what they're supposed to be. You can wield them. I think they can plug in. I don't know, maybe they can plug in. But what you're supposed to do is they plug into the tank mode. They've got little ports and all. But what you are supposed to do is they're connected in place quite securely. There we go. And what you're going to do is connect these giant mega mittens of death or something like that, and you just take them and slot them onto his hands and give him massive weird mittens of doom. I have no idea why that's a thing, but it's something you can do. So there's that. Just a matter of getting the thing plugged in, or maybe it's not supposed to plug in there. There's a little piece up there, but it doesn't fit because of the hand. But it's just weird. It is really weird. I don't know what these are supposed to be for. I don't ever recall him using something like this in the show, or in any continuity for that matter. But it's an accessory, you know, you don't have to equip it. It's just there if you want it. So it is what it is. Me personally, I would prefer just the plain old guns and swords any day. Now, let's take Blitzwing through posability, because I haven't fiddled with this guy in a while. So for all I know, he could be quite good. So we have, interesting, we have a full band at the arm. See the shoulder. Can't rotate because of the transformation, but it can't go up that far and back that far. It's heavily impeded on the back way, though you could sort of cheese it with an ankle, an elbow bend. But you see swivel at the bicep, you know, a wrist swivel. The arm just pulls slightly over a 90. Head is on a ball joint, so you have a good range of up and down, and a little bit of wiggly waggly. You can rotate it from side to side as much as you want. Hips have a swivel, so you can swivel at his waist. Legs can go out that far, kick up that far, kick down that far, and you've got a really good pivot at the toe. So his posability is actually pretty good. You know, he's lacking in the arms. I wish he was able to pull a bit more dynamic poses in regards to the arms, but you can still get him in some pretty convincing poses. I just wish the arms were a bit more, they had a bit more range to them, because it really does hamper some of the poses you want to get him into. But you can still pull off some decent enough battle poses, especially with that really good toe pivot. See, so just sometimes his backpack weighs him down a bit. So let's give him one of his guns. Plug that in using the handy dandy 5mm port. Yeah, there we go. And let's give him his shiny silver sword. I don't know about you folks, but I think that looks pretty cool. Spitting image of the original Generation 1 character, and a very faithful update to that original toy. Again, I really like the nice paint on this guy. He has a lot of really good paint apps, but he has a bit of a chip here. You can see he's got a bit of a chip right there, which is kind of annoying. But it's probably easy enough fix. I could probably just get a little dab of paint on a tiny brush and just touch that up a wee bit, just to get it looking back to normal. And let's see, that is pretty much it for the robot mode. And yeah, I really like this guy. I think he is quite nice. His look fits the character. He's got that distinct Generation 1 style to him, but also the transformation, as well as his just general fun factor really make them special in my eyes. Alright, apologies, I'm back. I just saw something really cool that I wanted to share with you guys because I heard this little buzzing and I assumed it was a fly or maybe a wasp, but I saw a little bumblebee just trying to escape, trying to leave the house, but it was repeatedly flying into a window over and over, so I fetched a bit of kitchen roll and helped the little guy find his way home. I wonder where he is now. Who knows? But let's continue on with the review. Now we're going to get stuck into the reverse transformations. So Blitzwing, what should we do first? Let me think. We'll do the tank mode first since that's my favourite of the two. And then whenever we do the tank mode, we'll equip him with all of his accoutrements to make him, I don't know, weaponized or something. They still use weaponizers in Transformers, right? Honestly, there's a lot of gimmick toys that they made when I was growing up that I really liked. I liked the Allspark Power movie line figures, even though they were basically just glorified repaints with extra highlights of blue. I just liked the idea behind it. Even if the toy lines aren't themselves the most intriguing, it's always interesting to see what they do with these molds, and I wonder if they would ever take this mold and maybe retool it or repaint it into a different character, or if that would not make much sense given that Blitzwing is sort of his own character. So what are we going to want to do here? Let me think. Just get everything disengaged. A lot of the transformation is just getting stuff out of the way for things to be situated later, but the legs are interesting. I just love how the legs work. You just take the wing, open it up, and then close it over as if you were transforming it back. But yeah, again, I know I keep saying this, so it's probably lost its meaning, but it's sometimes I have so many new ideas for videos and I just want to show all that to you guys, but at the same time I want to keep you surprised. I don't want to tell every single idea that I'm making, but that's just part of the fun for me. There's just so much to do. There's so many different videos that I want to make, so many different experiences I want to share with you guys. But I'll tell you what I'm doing, or I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to record a little one-off episode of a game I really enjoy and put it up there for you guys to watch, and if you like it and want to see more, that's okay. If you don't, well, I'll probably just make more episodes of it anyway because I'll probably have fun playing it. Look, I know that's not how YouTubers normally do things, but honestly, the way I see it, if you guys enjoy what I'm making, that just makes it all the more sweeter. Now we just have everything situated. Oh, that's right, we're going to want to take his nose cone. But yeah, have you guys seen some of the new Transformers leaks? We've had official announcements for Leader Class Springer, like 86 Springer, and Deluxe Class 86 Bumblebee. Now, I'm in the minority of people that actually quite like the 86 Bumblebee, even though he isn't really accurate. I mean, that's my biggest qualm with it. The whole point of Studio Series 86 is supposed to be accurate to the original 86 movie. But I suppose if they're going to take liberties, it might as well help if the figure itself is at least fun, and it does look quite fun. The transformation is incredibly intricate, and the lack of parts forming as well, for folks that aren't too keen on parts forming, that'll be a big plus for you guys. Me personally, I really don't mind it. It is what it is, but if it completely, I would say, scuppers the engineering or just the look of the figure, then yeah, I'm not too keen on it. Me personally, I'm just a fan of good old-fashioned tabs, notches, and clicky pegs, ratchet joints, the usual. And we're just about nearly done with the tank. There we are. You can just kind of see his head sticking out there. But come on, almost gotcha. Of course, because there you go, when you're on camera, it wants to fight you. Nice and clicky, just the way I like my Transformers. There we have Blitzwing back in his tank mode. What, you think that was going to be the video over? Far from it. We've still got one more mode to tackle and accessories to equip. So if I recall correctly, this or these pieces here, where do they go? I think, yes, there's little pegs here on either side, which I think if I, let me just look around, I think they clip in just about here, maybe. Yes, there we go. We can give him even more armament because when you're a giant tank, a giant triple changing alien tank, you know, it never hurts to have giant radioactive glowing candy missile launching things. Every time I see the clearer parts, they actually kind of remind me of those lollipops you get, those little clear flavoured lollipops. Rattling off on nonsense again. You could probably either put these at the front or you can have them sit. Actually, do you know what? We'll put them here because this guy has multiple ports across him. This is one of those figures where there's a lot of weapon ports. So you can pretty much go wild and just port whatever you want on him. Then we have Blitzwing, all armoured up. And it's ridiculous. Like, I'm not going to pretend that it's this incredibly intricate, well-designed thing. It's absurd, but you know what? I like it. It's completely ridiculous, but I can see something like this being done in the show, especially given that the Transformers can literally, in the games and the movies, they can actually sort of semi-transform and develop weapons on their sides. So this isn't too uncommon. This, though, I would honestly, I kind of like it. And it's just more so because of the fact that it's this massive missile pod that rotates alongside the rest of it, so you can have the most overpowered armored alien tank known to man. Just an absolute unstoppable killing machine. Alright, so let's just get Blitzwing all taken apart, and we're going to do another reverse transformation. We're going to put him back into his jet form. So you guys are going to get an extra long video to make up for me being a lazy ass. Again, I really hate not being motivated to make videos because just I was a bit disappointed at how the last Transformers gameplay ASMR performed. But honestly, I need to stop worrying so much about numbers. It's just an arbitrary number. You know, if 5 people watch it, you know, that's still 5 people that enjoy it. That's still 5 people that took the time to even look at it. Like, and 100 views on that second episode is, or near 200 views, that's nothing to sneeze at. For a small channel like me, it's still a good number. So I just really need to get over that whole, oh, I'm not doing good enough, oh, my channel isn't, it's, or you know, that whole, oh, no views in 36 seconds, man fell off, you know, that meme. Let's see, when do we do this again? Oh, right. A lot of this transformation is just kind of flipping things back and forth. And that's Toby coming out on his little adventure. There we go. Just make sure everything clicks into place. Let me know if you guys would like a no talking toy sounds video, like just the clicking of ratchet joints, tabbing, accessories, the clicking of plastics. I know people really enjoy those sounds, but I like to do these reviews where I talk because, you know, it's in case people want commentary, not just on the figure, but also because people want to hear my thoughts on the figure. That's part of why they watch these videos, but also because they want to see the actual figure itself. And that includes all the little quirks, transformation, idiosyncrasies. So it's a whole thing. Different people watch Transformers videos for all different reasons. Some people put them on as like sleep aid, some people like the commentary, some people like the figures. Some people might just be there because it's like, oh, is this figure good? I don't know, maybe Orbot might have an opinion on it. You know, the golden rule of thumb is if a figure is fun, you know, if it's good, if I enjoy it, it'll probably feature on the show. If it's not, well, there's a high chance it won't, and I'll actually say, look, I wanted to like this figure, but I just didn't. You know, I'll never do a figure I hate for the sake of appealing to an audience. It's like, if I don't like a figure, I don't like a figure, but if enough people want me to look at it, I'll bite the bullet and do it, because who knows, it could make for some good content. People might have a laugh, I might have a, I don't know, a laugh at my own expense. But there we have Blitzwing, back in his jet mode. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was extremely late after the last one, but I think you guys enjoy this. It took me a bit longer to do, and I had to split this video up and make a few edits here and there, but I think it will all be worth it in the end. So, let me know in the comments below what you thought of this video, this figure, what you'd like to see next on the channel, or just leave a comment if this video helped you in any way have a better day, or just feel better in general. With all that being said, this is Orbot ASMR, signing off for the night. Autobots, transform and roll out to bed. Till all.